Hey, welcome everybody to another wonderful episode of Dis and Chips. I'm your host, Fred, with my lovely co-host, as always, to my right, Kendall. What's going on, Kendall?
Not much. Just sore and tired from playing VR ever since it came in on Wednesday, which is basically all I've been doing for I don't know
Six.
the past week. How about you?
Just working overtime. The rain's been pulling me out to work. I've been working like nonstop the last couple days, but other than that, I mean, it's been all good. So, Kendall, what's the news been looking like? Is are things exciting? Are we in for a treat? Because did you watch PlayStation State of Play?
Yeah, I did on February 23rd. Sony had a state of play that showcased some upcoming PSVR2 games, a new Destiny expansion,
Mm-hmm.
some Suicide Squad footage, and couple of very highly anticipated games from Capcom coming up.
Sick, sick, sick. All right. Well, let's break this down. Kendall, what was the first thing you saw? What was the first thing you want to talk about? What are we looking at?
Well, one of the PSVR 2 games that looks like is going to be interesting, which was the first thing they ended up kicking the show off. A game called The Foglands, which essentially kind of looks like a run and gun type game,
Mm-hmm.
but not much in the way of details was given. It doesn't even have an official release. It just says coming 2023.
Okay,
But it
so
seems interesting.
I'm
So,
assuming with that kind of like coming 2023, we're expecting it probably what the tail end of the year, most likely.
yeah, it could be.
I did see that they got the Street Fighter, Street Fighter 6, right?
Yep.
Any new details on it that people might want to know? People think or is it still pretty much I mean they're hyping it up a lot. I've been seeing it everywhere. What Xbox had their thing and came out there. They Street Fighter did their own thing. Like it just seems like it. They're really pushing it for us to be like, hey, yo, this is the next exciting entry in Street Fighter.
Well, I mean, it is coming out in June 2nd, so I mean, it's just right around the corner, only a few more months to go.
Mm-hmm.
But they did show off three new characters. Two are old and returning, and one completely brand new character that is essentially from the same tribe as T-Hawk, if you remember him.
Okay. Is this another male character, female character?
Female character.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
All right,
Some more.
so when the trailer kicked off, it started off with Zangief being announced, so he's going to be in Street Fighter 6,
Mm-hmm.
a classic staple character, especially for
Obviously,
the grabber types.
I was wondering if he was going to be in there because I think before we saw in the last ones we saw what Ryu, was it Chung Li and I want to say one more Blanca, right? We knew those guys were coming back.
I believe they also showed Ken in the last one,
Okay.
but he's going to be in Street Fighter 6.
Mm-hmm.
And let's see. And then the next character they showed, which is Lily, who is the new character,
Mm-hmm.
who is also from the same indigenous Thunderfoot tribe as T-Hawk,
Yeah.
except she is much smaller and she uses the Spirit of the Wind, and it looks like she's a very agile type fighter,
Mm-hmm.
high combos. And then, of course, a old fan favorite,
Mm-hmm.
who, might I say, I love her new design. I don't know if you've seen it yet, but
I don't think I have.
well, they announced Cammy as a returning character for Street Fighter 6.
How's her design, dude? Are we going back to the original?
Amazing.
Yeah.
No, it's even better in my opinion.
All right. I'm gonna have to take a look. Any new? They did they show them fighting? Any gameplay of them like as the characters or?
Well, I mean, they did like the normal, like kind of like showcase, some combos,
Mm-hmm.
doing some ultras and supers and stuff
Yeah.
like that, but nothing like you
Okay.
know, actual gameplay match between
Yeah.
like two players or whatever. Like basically like the full on showcase.
Sure.
Like,
Sure.
hey, here's this character. Here's like their iconic moves or whatever. Here's a
Right.
super. Here's their ultra. Here you go. This is the character.
Okay. All
And
right.
then after the Street Fighter 6 announcement stuff,
Mhm.
they showed off some more Resident Evil 4
Ooh.
designs
Ooh. Okay.
and
Okay.
some gameplay.
How's that looking?
Oh, it's looking amazing. And of course, there's a rumor, although I guess it's kind of semi-confirmed. I guess it was like kind of leaked slash confirmed on Twitter
It's going to VR or
that they're
what?
going to be doing PSVR2 mode is in the works for it.
Because
So,
they just did that for the last Resident Evil, right? The Village one.
yep, Resident Evil 8.
Yeah.
So,
You think they're gonna go? Probably not. But I was gonna say, you think they're gonna go back and do the other Resident Evils in VR mode also?
well, I don't know. I mean, because Resident Evil 4 already has a VR mode with the Oculus Quest.
Oh, okay. I see.
So technically, it's not. It shouldn't be that much work to bring the VR mode over,
Mhm. Mhm.
but I don't know if they're going to be changing stuff around, like from how it was with that VR mode, or if they're going to do a completely whole different one,
Yeah.
or if they're going to port it over, kind of thing.
Okay.
But yeah, we're also getting close to Resident Evil 4 remake being released because that's coming out March 24th.
Yeah, we're way closer to the Resident Evil one than the Street Fighter one. That's tight. I like that. What else did they give us, kind of?
And then they showed off a couple like new indie games that they're
Mhm.
going to be coming out. Like Goodbye Volcano High, which looks to be like a rhythm slash story
Mhm.
visual novel type game, which is coming out June 15th.
Mhm.
Humanity, which is kind of like a puzzle kind of guide people
Mhm.
from point A to point B while overcoming obstacles kind of
Right.
game, which is going to become, which I guess is going to be having a demo
Mhm.
released soon too as well.
Mhm.
But that game's called Humanity and it's going to be coming out in May. Then there is Chia,
Mhm.
which seems to be a story slash visual novel type kind of game, which is also going to be included with extra and premium tiers of PlayStation Plus on March
Mhm.
24th. So you could play that for free if you have either extra or premium tier of PS Plus.
Oh, okay. Mm,
Then they showcase Destiny 2 Lightfall, the latest expansion slash DLC for
yeah.
the
Okay.
Destiny 2 game,
Yeah, I was gonna
wh-
ask if you've seen that the Destiny 2 expansion one.
which at the time of this podcast is coming out in 2 days on the 28th of February.
From what I've seen, it looks like they're in a city now, kind of fighting or something like more technological city.
Yep, seems like it. I don't know if that's them technically going back to the roots of the original Destiny or not, but
Well, I mean, is it isn't the original Destiny like, well, I mean Destiny's 2, how what would you call it? Like the base is free now, right? To play. It's just you're paying for the
yep.
expansions.
hmm
Okay, that's what I thought.
And right now, I believe all of the expansions are currently on sale to get people ready for Lightfall. So,
I better be able to get all the expansions for $5 if you want me to play them.
well, I don't know if you're going to be able to get it for $5, but you can probably get like each of them for like 10 or less.
All right. I mean that's cool. And then I mean I played Destiny 2 for a while. I just haven't been really into it that much, so I don't know. I always get interested in wanting to play, but I just want to play with the homies. But they don't, not everybody wants to play Destiny 2. So I guess there's that. I see that we've got a new Naruto slash Boruto game.
Yep, the Naruto slash Boruto Ultimate Ninja Storm Connections. Supposedly, they're going to completely redo the entire story to be playable in the same game
Mm-hmm.
from beginning to end, starting with Naruto and I guess ending with Boruto. including the fights with between Naruto and Sasuke, which I guess wasn't in previous games,
Oh, really?
at least according to the trailer. I
Okay.
mean, because it says they're including or bringing back the fight between Naruto and Sasuke, and I'm like, that seemed to be kind of like a big moment in the whole anime to just kind of leave that out in a video game.
Yeah.
But no official release date for that. That's coming out 2023 as well.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
then the last thing they showed off was a Suicide Squad deep dive into the gameplay slash systems
Mhm.
on top of the release date being May 26, 2023.
Okay. That was the one game that I really wanted to kind of talk more in depth because. All right, you saw it. Okay, what do you think? I've seen multiple trailers for it. At first, I was super excited, and now I'm kind of thinking about it.
I mean, at first it wasn't really on my radar. In the first place, I mean, it was kind of like, okay, maybe this might be something I'll pick up later on down the line because I enjoyed like the Arkham games
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
You play the
And
Gotham Knights, was it? The one with Robin and them?
I mean, I started it, but then it's just kind of like I lost interest like super quick. I don't know.
Not as good as the Batman ones?
No,
Oh, okay.
I mean, it's kind of the same,
Mm-hmm.
but it's different because you can switch between like the four
Characters.
characters at pretty much any time in between missions.
Yeah.
But it's like the combat is slower slash heavier,
Mm-hmm.
which is weird because it's like I was playing as Batgirl
The
the
whole
whole
time?
time, and it's like you would figure she'd be kind of like more agile,
And
kind
she's
of
not.
like Batman, maybe with like less oomph, but at least like the more agile part. Nah, it was still kind of slow and clunky, and this was playing on PC, so what then stuck with the whole 30 FPS on console thing.
Mm-hmm. I wonder if it's because of they make it clunky in the way to force you to kind of switch characters.
Maybe.
So that way you're like, oh, this one's better at this one's better at that, and it kind of forces you. I heard there was multiplayer on it too, though, right? Like something your buddy could jump on and help you out.
Well, if there's multiplayer, I had no idea.
Yeah, there was something. From my understanding, was there was a way like you could have your friend help you, and originally when they were talking about it, because I never got to play it, but they were talking about how your friends could jump in, play with you, and the progression that they also did in your game could count on their game or something like that. That was the idea.
Oh, okay, because apparently there is a multiplayer option that is available, but it's not usable at the start.
Yeah.
You have to get a certain amount through the game to unlock
Right.
it, and then you have to do a tutorial mission that unlocks the multiplayer, which I do not believe I did
Ah. Well, there
because
you
I
go.
didn't get that far. Because I think I did like the first intro mission slash tutorial,
Hmm.
and that was about it.
Yeah, because I do hear that the Suicide Squad will have that kind of. I don't know if it's the same, but I have heard that they're going to have some kind of multiplayer so you and your friends can play, like doing the story.
Okay.
Now, here's my thing, right? Originally, I thought this game was going to be like an RPG kind of game. We're going to do the missions, we're going to do our stuff, we're going to, have a good time, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm starting to think it's not quite that. I'm starting to think it's like Square Enix's Avengers game.
Yep, because apparently, once again, greed has struck.
Yeah, do that.
And Suicide Squad is looking to be an always online, even in single player mode, live service type game.
Yeah, that's another thing that you're gonna need in single player. You're gonna be required to use the internet to play, and I'm like, I mean, on these type of games, right? I mean, obviously, maybe it's maybe I don't understand it yet, but like, I always thought if you're just gonna play the story and play the stuff, you should be able to play it without being online.
Mm-hmm.
If you wanted to do the function of playing, with your friends online or other stuff, all right, then you have to have a online connection. But if you're just gonna play the story, shouldn't it just I don't know? Shouldn't you just be able to play the story?
You would think, and you would hope,
Cause
but it seems like there is still some developers slash publishers slash studios out there that would rather you not just do that.
Cause look, I get it. You're gonna sell us scans and stuff, but you're making it as a battle pass. Like, couldn't you just sell us scans and we make the choice? But now there's like a battle pass system. And the thing about battle pass systems is I always feel like I don't know, man. Everything has a battle pass system, but I'm just I don't know how I feel because the more they like shooters and stuff like that, like I can get it. You know, you want to look different from the next guy because there's like 100 people there and you want to have your own stuff.
Hmm.
But like they're making the move to everything with a battle pass, and I don't know how I feel about that. You know, I don't want to play Final Fantasy VII with a battle pass. You know what I mean?
Oh, you know what? I think Square's gonna take that idea and now it's gonna be like, okay, hey, season one battle pass, 100 tiers, get Zack's original Buster sword from Crisis Core.
See, and that's the thing that I'm talking about. Like that's not what I want. Like I would hate that. Like now you're gonna get cosmetic skins while you're playing the game. Like what's the whole point? I'm playing like a story. You know, I'm playing a game with a story. Why the hell do I need battle pass system?
Because money.
That is the thing because money. But dude, Avengers didn't do that well.
Nope.
And they had a good concept. Like at first I was like, that's a cool idea. And then it's like buy every character, buy every I'm like, dude, I'm out. I didn't buy shit.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't buy shit. I like the game, but I didn't like the game. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And I feel that this is going to be the same thing. I want to play it for the story, but I feel like fucking Battle Pass, my ass. This isn't fucking Injustice 3 or Mortal Kombat 12 or 11 or 7 or whatever they fucking started putting the Battle Pass in that shit. You know, I mean, I know, I don't know. Maybe I'm just getting old, and I'm like, back in my day, you didn't pay for all this shit. Like
Well,
DLC,
I mean,
I've
it
always
like it depends on how back, like how far back you want to go, because it's like Street Fighter 2 or whatever. Like everyone likes to say how much cheaper, video games used to be, like spending 45,
right.
$50 or whatever.
That was
Yeah,
expensive back then.
cartridges themselves were more expensive than that. Especially N64 cartridges, they can be like upwards of like 89 bucks,
Hmm.
especially if they needed like the Rumble pack
Hmm.
or like the extra,
Yeah,
what's it called, the expansion pack for the system, the
sure.
RAM pack and everything. But it's like,
The only thing I
w-
look games were expensive, but I guess it was the option of when you bought the game, you bought the game. You know what I mean? You had everything that came with it.
true, but like I was gonna about to get
Oh,
into my original
yeah.
point. I mean, just look how many different versions of Street Fighter 2 there was on this SNES over the period of like 6, 7 years. Those were all so like because you had Street Fighter 2,
Hmm.
World Champion, which was like the base one. Then you had Turbo,
Hmm.
and then you had Super Turbo,
Hmm.
and then you had there was like 6 different versions of it.
Yeah, but okay, okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay, sorry, yeah. It was World Warrior was the base one. Street Fighter 2 World Warrior.
Hmm.
Then you had Street Fighter 2 Championship Edition. Then you had Street Fighter 2 Turbo.
Hmm.
And then you had Super Street Fighter 2.
Hmm.
And then you had Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo. And those were all sold as completely brand new games when they were basically just updating the roster slash doing balancing mechanics, maybe adding a couple
Yeah.
stages like what we have now, except in full price form.
Right, right, right. No, no, and I look, I get that fact. Okay, I like I'm not. That's where I was going. Like I'm not saying that DLCs or patches or things like that, and you're fixing stuff. And I do understand. Look, hey, if you want to sell me a character for $2 or $3, that's my choice. I don't have to buy that character. I'm okay with that kind of stuff, right? Because you do it, but like this whole everything needs a battle pass and everything needs a this and everything needs a that. It kind of sucks.
Yeah, it does.
That's where I'm trying to get at. I'm not saying like, look, fighting games are their own genre, right? I get it. It's cool that you now can buy that one game and they just keep updating the characters all the time and you just keep getting new skins and you keep getting new stuff and you don't have to buy another game. But
Mm-hmm.
that's not true because they sell you all that shit. See, and this is where I would say too, like I wouldn't be opposed to it, but let's be real. They all need to make money. They all need to update things and do shit. So you'll get updates, and then they go, guess what? Street Fighter Five, no more. Here comes Street Fighter Six.
Yep.
And so all the shit that you bought, and all the characters that you bought, and all the stuff that you bought, and all the stuff that you paid for, we're gonna move on to the next one anyways.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, like, hey, I think it's cool that you don't have to buy a $60 game every time, but let's be real, they'll still sell you Street Fighter Five, and then maybe they'll sell you Street Fighter the Championship Edition or whatever, because they're like, hey, now you don't have to buy each individual DLC character because you didn't buy it. We're gonna give them to you
Mm-hmm.
when you buy the game, and you're like, oh well, I'd rather buy that game than the whole, you know. They still do it. I've seen it. They still do it, but it's just I don't know, man. I don't know where I'm going with it. I just don't like. You know what? I just don't like battle passes on RPGs. There, I think that's what I'm saying. I want to play my game and I want to end it. You know, and if you want to sell me a DLC for another fucking mission or two, sell it to me. You know what? Kingdom Hearts did it. Why not?
Did Kingdom Hearts do that?
Kingdom Hearts has
Oh, wait.
and the
I mean,
newest one.
oh, that's right. They did on Kingdom Hearts 3. They had the challenge mode DLC
Yeah,
or
but
whatever,
that's what I'm
where it
saying.
was
Like,
like the.
you want to sell me another mission? You want to sell me something? I make that choice. I'll pay. I'll buy it. You know what I mean? But that's it. You know, you're not selling me like 50 different costumes so you can replay it or some shit. You know?
Yeah.
I guess that's where I'm getting at. Because if this stuff, what I'm saying is this: if this stuff starts working, all of a sudden every game you're gonna have to be on. It's gonna be like live online. It's gonna be all this, and then what happens when the game fucking isn't playable anymore because they're not making enough money online? You know what happens to those games?
Yep. And they get shut down,
They
and
just
then
shut
that's
down,
it.
and then
Everything goes poof.
they don't work right and all this shit. You know, but before, you know, you could play your fucking, you know, you could play your original Final Fantasy VII as much as you want. It ain't gonna fucking change. It's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
That's the stuff that I'm trying to get at. Like I'm like, you know, that's the shit that I'm like, what the fuck. But I guess that's too much ranting on that. You know, WB Suicide Squad or whatever the fuck. Talking about WB, hey, you hear they're gonna make more Lord of the Rings?
Yep. They're gonna be doing more films based in the original Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit.
That
So
that's so weird to me. Like, what the hell? You know they have a TV show, right?
yep.
How much? What? Like, what? Are we gonna turn the TV show into movies?
I don't know. I didn't see anything about like where they were
Yeah.
going to, like if they were gonna expand upon the
Right.
movies or if they're gonna do something different, but like within the realm
Yeah.
of the movies kind of thing. Because the TV show was supposed to be what, like 1,000 years before Lord of the Rings took place or
Yeah.
something along those
Yeah.
lines. Like basically way before the
Well,
movies, books, all that
that's
stuff.
kind of like what Hogwarts Legacy is. It's like so much before the like the actual Harry Potter movies and
Yeah.
stuff like that. So that way they don't, you know, they don't touch on
Mm-hmm.
what the Harry Potter thing is.
So
Uh,
I
Harry,
don't know
yeah.
what they're planning on doing with it, where it's gonna be going, who's gonna be like what characters are gonna be following,
Hmm.
or what.
Exactly. But you know what? You know what you can't follow, and you do know. Hey, you remember that in one of the movies they had Rogers the musical,
Mm-hmm.
and then I think it was Hawkeye where they actually did it. Oh, no, that was the Avengers one, right? My bad.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, what I'm trying to say is that musical or whatever, it's coming to Disneyland, man. I think DZA, you know how they used to do the Aladdin one? I guess you can go watch Rogers or or the Avengers thing or whatever. I don't know. They're gonna have something there. It's it's a fish. If you wanted to watch the musical that they made that was fake on the show, but now is actually real, you can watch it. I
Mm-hmm.
guess yeah, it's a little confusing, but yeah, you can go see that. You check that out.
Yeah. Just for context, Rogers the Musical is a Broadway musical based on Steve Rogers, who was the first Captain America.
Hmm. That's it. That's what they're gonna have. So, congratulations, everybody. You get to watch that. It's exciting.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what really is exciting that I'm kind of excited for to play? Mortal Kombat 12, dude. You hear they announced it?
Yeah, didn't they kind of sort of quote unquote leak it themselves slash spoil it like from an earnings call?
Yeah. You got it. That was it. I'm like, hey, now we got to start listening to our earnings calls just in case they drop huge news.
That's it. Company earning calls. That's going to be the next E3. That's where you're going to get your big game in.
He's all, did you hear their profits? They're down, but did you hear Mortal Kombat 12 is up, baby? Let's go.
Yep, and supposedly it's slated for release in 2023. Obviously, this was just talked about in an
Yeah.
earnings call, so there's no pictures, there's no videos, there's no trailers, no nothing or
Which I,
whatever. This was literally just talked about
right, which
in an earning call statement.
I'm surprised that. I mean, when do you think they would leak? Well, not leak it, but when do you think they would give us some heads up?
Well, I mean, Evo, the fighting game championship, is still going on this year for 2023 in
Oh,
August.
oh,
So maybe they were going to plan to announce it then during the fighting games, especially
that
since
makes sense.
MK11 is one of the games that was announced for the championship lineup.
Oh hell yeah, you know that's what they were gonna do. So Evo 2023, when is it, Kendall?
Let's see. I forgot to write down the actual dates,
Mm-hmm.
but Evo 2023 is in August in Las Vegas, Nevada, from August 4th through the 6th of this year. The confirmed games
Mm-hmm.
for their championship lineup is Street Fighter 6, which
Street Fighter
gives
6.
them, yep, Street Fighter 6, Guilty Gear Strive,
Okay.
Mortal Kombat 11 Ultimate,
Okay.
Tekken 7,
Okay.
King of Fighters 15,
Okay.
Melty Blood,
Ooh.
Dragon Ball Fighters,
Oh.
and Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3.
Yo, let's go. Brum, 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 brum.
So if you are going to be in Vegas anytime
In August.
between August 4th through 6th, hey, maybe you can go check
How
out the Evo Championship
how
Series.
much are the tickets normally for Evo and things like that? They're pretty pricey, right? They're a hot commodity, I guess, or
Uh,
no?
let's see. I did not look at.
I've always wondered because you as a fan you can buy tickets, right? Or is this like a invite only kind of tournament thing?
No, you can go buy tickets. Although I don't know if it's different price if you're planning on attending, as in like actually being a part of.
Oh, the actual stuff.
So
Hmm. Interesting. It's a good lineup. I like it. I like it. You can also check it out online, right? Don't they like put it through Twitch or YouTube or something like that? You can kind of see the fights.
yep, they usually stream it through Twitch. Although I don't know if they're going to be doing any like partnership stuff with anyone. Because so far they are partnered with Sony, PlayStation, and Chipotle. So
Yo, every champion gets to eat a Chipotle burrito
or a burrito bowl or whatever,
or whatever. You're like, yeah, everybody's being fed with Chipotle. So when you see them run off the stage, it's the Chipotle.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, I want to thank everybody. Oh, I gotta go, guys. And then you know why it's Chipotle run, baby. The Chipotle runs. Um, that's tight. That's tight. What else we got? Kendall. Oh, dude, Diablo 4, right? You were talking about earlier before we started this.
Yep. So Diablo 4 is going to be getting an open beta weekend coming in March.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you pre-order the game in full, you will get early access to this open beta, which is for March 17th through the 19th. And this is only for those who pre-ordered. And then there is another open beta weekend for everyone who is interested
Mm-hmm.
between March 24th and the 26th.
Mm.
So, if you are a fan of the Diablo series or you're interested in checking out the game,
Mm-hmm.
go ahead and throw in the March 24th weekend on your calendar because you will be able to give it a try for free. How much of the game they're going to include, I don't know. They
Mm-hmm.
did not say. They did not also include what characters will be available for playing in the open beta,
Mm-hmm.
but there you go. It's a good chance to try before you buy.
Oh yeah. Are you pre-ordering it? I guess that's the next question I gotta ask.
I have not pre-ordered it yet. No.
Okay. Are you thinking about it though, or is that not going to be a thing?
We'll see how the open beta works.
Okay. So with that, boys and girls, we're going to come to our biggest topic of the day. Okay. We have uh, our resident host is going to break down his take on the PlayStation VR2. So Kendall, you got your hands on a PSVR2. When did it come in?
It came in on Wednesday, the 22nd, which was launch day
Okay.
officially.
How much was the system, if I may ask?
After taxes and everything, between the headset, because I got the Call of the Mountain Horizon bundle,
Uh huh.
which
So
came with the headset, a voucher for
the
the
game.
game, plus the 2 Sense controllers,
Okay.
and then separately bought the charging dock for the Sense controllers, which came out to just a little over 700 after taxes.
Okay. So we're looking at with a game with a charging base for the controllers and the system, $700, guys. Put that out there. Just the system itself is five something, right? Five, almost 600.
For the base with no bundle, it's 549.99.
Mm-hmm.
With Horizon Call of the Mountain, it's 599.99.
Yeah.
So if you get the bundle, you technically save $10 because the game itself is $60.
Okay. So it's not bad. Just throwing that out there for anybody wondering, prices or what's going on with the thing. That's what we're kind of looking at. All right. Setup wise, what are you looking at?
Super easy. You have one USB Type C cable,
Mm-hmm.
plug it into the front of your PS5. That's it.
You
That's the only setup.
you had the PSVR1. How was the setup on that one compared to the setup on this one?
Well, the PSVR 1 had the headset, which had 2 display cables attached to the headset
Uh-huh.
itself, that plugged into a processing box,
Mm-hmm.
which then you plugged your PS4 into the box on top of an HDMI coming out of the processing box to go to your TV.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was also a USB cable that you attached. And then there was also a power cable.
On that brick? I mean, on the
Yeah.
processing block? Oh, all right. No, that's a lot. That's a lot. So I guess for everybody, ease of use, one cable, dude. There you go. Now this one cable
Yep.
gives you the signal for the video, your power, everything. So there's no
Yep.
power cable.
Nope. Just the Type C cable. That's it.
All right. Do you need to have any kind of like bases around so it can track you?
Nope. It's done all via inside out tracking. There are 4 cameras
Mm-hmm.
on the front. There's 4 cameras on the headset
Mm-hmm.
that keeps track of everything, keeps track of your environment. So when you set up a play boundary and you get close to it, little wires will pop up on your screen being like, hey, you're getting too close to your boundary or whatever, move back.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And that's also the same cameras that sit there and track your controllers.
Mm-hmm. All right.
So no external cameras, no external base stations, nothing. Just all done in the headset.
Nice. Nice. Controllers, what do you think? The old ones looked like maracas, like two joysticks with little balls. I remember one would be red, one would be blue, right?
Yep, the original Move controllers that were on the PS3 that was repurposed for PSVR.
Mm-hmm.
Well, at least these ones are more like actual
Ooh, okay.
VR controllers. You
Yeah.
know, you basically you have two of them.
Yeah.
It takes getting used to because it's like they're kind of split in half
Yeah.
essentially. Like you have square and triangle on one,
Mhm.
and then you have X and circle on another one. They both have the the start and share button,
Mhm.
and they both have PlayStation buttons on them. Shoulder buttons for triggers, and then I guess you would say the L1 and R1 isn't exactly shoulder buttons anymore. They kind of rest around the back of the controller.
Mhm.
So while you would use your index or pointing finger to use the triggers, your middle finger would basically be resting on the L1 and R1s instead.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Uh, how's the headset weight wise, seating wise? Like, is it redesigned? Is it still the same kind of? Is it still the same headset from one to two?
Well, it's a completely different headset. It's mostly the same in shape and style,
Okay.
but it is definitely lighter,
Mhm.
and it's all white instead of being like two-tone white and black.
Okay. Is it? Do you enjoy wearing this one more than you did the last one?
Oh, definitely. Basically, when you put it on, it's got different material for the padding on the front. It seems like there's more padding on the front
Mhm.
and in the back of the headset. The knobs and everything, like you have multiple different dials. Like you have the one in the back to tighten it,
Mhm.
and then actually what's new on this headset is you have an IPD adjustment dial,
Mhm.
which is your I forget. It has to deal with your pupils, your eyes. Basically, you can move the lenses closer or further apart, like based on how like your eyes
Oh,
are.
what are they called? Diopters or something like that, or
Mhm.
di something? I know what you're talking about. I see what you're saying. Okay.
Um.
So yeah. To get the focus and stuff like that going.
Yep.
All right, that's cool. So then you don't need to wear glasses with it, or do you still
You
wear?
can.
Uh huh. But is that
Um.
what that adjustment's for, kind of?
No, the basically because you know like how everyone's face is shaped differently or whatever.
Oh,
Like some people's eyes will be closer to the
yes,
nose, and
yes.
sometimes it'll be
I
further
see what
out.
you're saying.
What this does is this moves the lenses either closer in or further out to match where your eyes are.
All
And
right,
it's
right.
inner pupillary distance. That's what IPD is.
Okay. I see what you're talking about. All right. Yeah, it's completely different from what I was thinking about. I thought it was one of those like that focus far or close, so that way if you needed glasses, you could just kind of like adjust the focus on it. All right. Can you take any of the materials off, like the foams off? So I don't know, like if they waste, are there any replacements for it through Sony, or is this something that I mean, because I don't know what.
So far not yet. I mean, you can take the stuff off. Like there's Sony has actually done like full teardown videos
Yeah.
of it to like kind of like show you like where everything is and
Hmm.
everything blah 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 all the way down to like the bare essentials and the circuitry and the boards and all that other stuff.
Yeah.
So, but at the moment, if you had to get a replacement, you would probably have to get it directly through Sony, but they don't have it like through their website, so you'd have to contact support
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Yeah. I was just wondering, like, so that way if you obviously clean them or whatever, or wipe them down, like, or I don't know for whatever if it rips or something. I was wondering if, excuse me, if there was anything that you could get as a replacement, or even if it is replaceable, because eventually someday you probably get new foam, right?
Yep.
Did the VR1 have replacement foams eventually, or was that something that they did, or no? You had to go third party.
Honestly, don't remember because I never actually had to replace mine.
Oh, okay,
So,
all right. So then they do. It lasts a good while then. What other questions do I have for that? Um, the 4K screens, 1080 screens.
uh, it's two different displays. It's 2000 by 2040 resolution per eye,
Mm-hmm.
for a total of 4000 by 2040 resolution. So actually, kind of slightly less than 4K, but also slightly more than 4K.
Oh,
Because 4K is 3840 by 2160, and this
yeah.
is 4000 by 2040.
Okay. Uh, well, I guess with you using it, what do you think of the quality of the visual? Better than the first one, obviously for sure. But I guess what I'm asking is like, how do you think? How does it look? What do you think?
It's absolutely amazing. Most people, because one of the main complaints that a lot of people have been complaining about, at least online, that I've noticed, is the fact that the PSVR2 still uses Fresnel lenses,
Mm-hmm.
which is kind of like a, I guess you could say, a repeating like cone type
Mm-hmm.
lens or whatever, instead of pancake lens, which I guess is the new hotness when it comes to like headset lenses.
Yeah.
So, but the thing is it has a sweet spot, which is where you do all your adjustments, where it sits
Mm-hmm.
on your head, how close you have it to your face, and everything, and then the IPD adjustment dial or whatever will help you get, as clear as picture as possible.
Mm-hmm.
And I have had, zero issues with mine, at least, when it comes to visual clarity.
Mm-hmm.
And it is a massive upgrade over the first PSVR.
Nice.
Easy. And best part is the screens are also OLED, so you got brighter whites and you have deeper blacks included with the HDR panels,
Mm-hmm.
and it's amazing. Now, one of the bigger problems that a lot of other people have been noticing
Mm-hmm.
is the Mira, which is basically when you have like a bunch of like little pixels next to each other,
Yeah.
and then you have it's a display color like red.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Mira is basically all the pixels that are sitting there trying to show red, but maybe some will be like a darker shade of red, maybe some will be a slightly lighter shade of red,
Mm-hmm.
kind of thing. And I guess a lot of people have been complaining and noticing that. Me personally, once I get into the game,
You kind of
I
lose.
don't notice it at all because I'm like sitting there busy playing the game. And oh,
Yeah.
to notice any like technical difficulties or whatever. I I guess another term would be like a screen door effect,
Mm-hmm.
where it's kind of like you're looking at an image through a screen door.
Yeah. Oh, okay, 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 yeah, yeah. Like the screen doors that go in front of your door, right? The with a mesh. Oh, that's what you're
Yeah,
trying to say. Okay, I see what you're talking about.
except like because I've noticed like a little bit of that, but
Mm-hmm.
it's like one of those like super extremely fine screen door meshes or whatever, where it's
Mm-hmm.
like not that big of a deal.
Yeah. Okay. Runtime on the controllers. What are we looking at?
For me, personal testing, I generally get about 3 to 4 hours depending on the type of game.
Mm-hmm. Is that good enough for you, or would you like more? Would you like less? I mean, well, not less, but I'm saying, is it good enough for the amount of time that you're doing?
Well,
Or do,
for at the moment, right
yeah,
now, that would be a perfect time because I mean, when you're playing VR games or whatever, you're not exactly. I mean, you can be sitting down,
yeah,
but you're still waving your arms around and stuff
sure,
like that. So it's like eventually you will get tired, and taking breaks is a good thing.
yeah.
So maybe grab a drink, maybe grab some food, go to the bathroom,
Mm-hmm.
freshen up, wipe the sweat off your face before getting back into everything
Yeah.
again.
Um.
And it only takes about an hour to charge from empty to full.
Fuck,
So,
that's pretty good. Okay, let me see what else we got. Audio. What kind of audio are we looking at? Can you put your PlayStation headphones on it? Do they give you anything? Are we? I mean, does anything work with it?
well, for the most part, I've just been using the same headphones that I'm wearing right now, the Sony Pulse 3D
Mm-hmm.
headphones,
Yeah.
which fit perfectly fine over the headset.
Okay.
Um, but if you don't want to use wireless headphones, they do actually include earbuds along with the VR headset
That's pretty cool.
that is shaped around like the back of the headband
Mm-hmm.
for the headset, and it plugs in via an auxiliary jack.
Okay. Uh,
So you should be able to use any kind of headphones as long as it has an auxiliary cord.
Quality of the headphones that they come with?
For me personally, they're not that great. I mean, it's a quite easy solution, and they have like little earbud holders on the side of the headset.
Mm-hmm.
So, like for quick, easy storage, you can just pop them in like that.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, I felt like the earbuds were too quiet. Although I don't know if it's just because they were using silicone tip gel for the ear tips, which I normally don't do because I
Mm-hmm.
prefer foam. But for the most part, I mean, if you don't have anything else, it works.
Mm. Uh, all right. I guess let's go into the games. Excuse me. How many games do you have? And does it have enough games at launch that work with it? Because I know PSVR1 had games. I don't know if all of them transferred over, or even if you can even play the games that you've bought with VR1, the VR1, or do you have to buy an all new set for VR2?
Well, some games that were released for PSVR 1 have been. Some have paid upgrades, some have free upgrades,
Mm-hmm.
depending on the game. For me, I have bought Pistol Whip, which is kind of like Beat Saber, which is a rhythm shooting game.
Mm-hmm.
Resident Evil 8 Village, which was a free upgrade to the VR mode.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't cost anything, just had to download the extra mode attachment for it.
Mm-hmm.
Horizon Call of the Mountain, which is the game that came with the bundle.
Yeah.
Star Wars Tales from the Galaxy's Edge. Zenith The Last City, which is a VR MMO type game.
Mm-hmm.
And oh, yeah, Job Simulator was also apparently a free upgrade. Yeah, so I had that.
Mm.
And Gran Turismo 7 also had a free VR update, but that I have not gotten around to trying and playing yet.
Mm. Um. Okay. So let's start with that pistol whip or whatever. How is the game? How does it play? Any lag? Any problems, issues with the controllers or tracking or anything like that?
Nope. And like I said, it's basically like Beat Saber, except instead of slicing at blocks, you're shooting at targets and dodging bullets because they also shoot back at you. And
Okay.
then if you do it in rhythm to the beat, you get more points.
Mm.
Obviously, if you don't get shot, you
More.
increase your chain combo or whatever, so
Mm-hmm.
you get more points and more points and more points. And they have a huge selection of music. I haven't gotten anywhere near close to doing all of the songs in it. I think I've done like 3 or 4.
Mm.
And as for tracking, I've had absolutely zero issues.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm kind of going all over the place when you're doing this because you're dodging bullets, you're dodging pillars,
Mm-hmm.
and stuff like that. And you're kind of like waving your arms around everywhere, trying to aim at targets either right in front of you or off to the side behind cover or up on top of buildings, kind of thing. So,
Okay. Resident Evil. Good game. Not a good game in VR.
it's basically kind of like a whole new game.
All right.
Other than the story and everything being the same, the mechanics are so much more different in VR than they are, in just like the normal game
So much. So
because
much more
the gun
harder.
mechanics, depending on how good you are with a gun,
Okay. All right. So how are the gun mechanics?
realistic,
Realistic, you mean the way you shoot?
uh, everything between how you shoot,
Uh huh.
because take the pistol for example.
Okay.
The clip has 10 bullets in it.
Okay.
Once you get rid of that 10, what would you normally do in a game? You press the button to reload, right?
Sure, and then it does a little wheel, it reloads, and then bam, you're done. Or if you're doing like, oh, I see what you're trying to say. This is like Time Crisis, right? You got to like move the gun out of the screen or duck down, and then it reloads for you, right?
No. You gotta pop the magazine out,
Okay,
pull another one out from your pouch,
okay,
pop it in,
okay.
and then pull the slide.
While a zombie's eating my brains,
Yes.
dude, what the hell? Okay, so you got a pistol. Does that mean I gotta do like if I had a rocket launcher? Does that mean I gotta pull a rocket out and put a rocket in it?
More than likely, yeah.
All right. What other weapons do you have right now?
Well, at the moment, because I'm only at the start, I basically just like did the
Okay.
tutorial bit or whatever before getting to the castle.
Sure.
And so I have the pistol,
Okay.
I have the shotgun,
Okay.
and I have the knife.
Okay. So the shotgun, you gotta load it bullet by bullet, or I mean shotgun shell
Yes.
by shotgun shell,
Yes.
and you have to pull the shotgun shells out when you shoot, right? Or do they have like a quick like pop out like when you open it?
Well, basically, because like the way shotgun shells work or whatever, when you cock it
Yeah.
to shoot, it pops the old shell out
Yeah.
already.
That's what I was thinking. I was just wondering if it was one of those where you open it, it goes poof, and then you're like, all right, put the two new ones in.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I mean, at least you don't have to worry about taking the shells out because
Okay.
basically it happens when you cock the gun anyway.
Do you have the shotgun where the shells come out of the side and then you just have to like load them back in? You know what I'm saying? Like 6 shotgun shells, or are you talking about like the double barrel?
I don't think I haven't found enough ammo to see how much it fits in.
Okay.
I think you can fit in 4 at the start,
Nice.
unupgraded.
Okay. Tight. Well, at least you get 4 shots.
Mm-hmm.
How do you put your weapons away and pull them out?
Well, when in the menu, you can basically kind of like dictate where you want to do everything, but like default, you got the pistol at your hip. Your knife, for me, is on the left arm, but you can also switch it over to your right if you want.
Mm-hmm.
For the shotgun, you have to pull it out from behind your back.
So what you're telling me is, I have the shotgun in my hand and I put my hand towards my back. The shotgun goes away, right?
Yep.
And then I pull the hand back out and it's just my hand. And then if I want the shotgun, I pull the hand back, grab the shotgun, and pull it out of my back.
Yep.
That's tight. Same thing with a pistol, I guess, right? Put it to the hip, it's gone. Pull it from the hip, it's there.
Yep.
Okay. So everything's on the outside then of your body?
No, you actually can open up your jacket
Yeah.
and pull out a flashlight.
Okay, that's pretty tight. I like that. I like that.
So,
That's cool. Are all the games have mechanics like that? Like, I mean, or is this just kind of this one seems pretty tight.
no, this is the first one because like RE7
Yeah.
was on the PSVR, but the thing is that also came out before the Move controllers were introduced for PSVR.
Oh, okay.
So you basically just played with a DualShock controller, but with the headset.
Oh, okay, okay. All right. So this is the first time you get to do all this, like you're actually in the game playing it.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
tight. Yo, Sword Art Online. Here we go.
Mm-hmm. We're
That's
getting
tight.
there.
That's tight. I like it. Now, next question: are you gonna get one of those rolly bases where you sit on top of, like you're standing on it? So when you're running, you know where your harness stands. So when you're running, um, you can run around all directions, but it's just you're there.
Man, those things are expensive. Huh? Like I think those are like thousands upon thousands of dollars.
I mean, they might be. I just, just asking a question. Play COD.
Maybe one day, like when it becomes affordable.
Sure.
Oh,
Playing COD on one of those balls, so
mm-hmm.
you can be shooting people. Can you play COD on it? Like, are there any FPS games on it where you can like fight people or no?
There actually is one
Mm-hmm.
that is available, and it's called Pavlov,
Okay.
and I haven't played it, but I know it's multiplayer and I know it's a shooter. I don't
Okay.
know what kind of time zone it's based on.
Yeah.
or if it's like more Rainbow Six Siege like type strategy,
Mm,
or if it's like run and gun like Call of Duty or not. But
yeah,
if you're looking for a shooter FPS
they
in
got it.
VR, well, there you go, Pavlov.
Oh, that's tight. Okay, so they pretty much got a little bit of everything for everybody right now that it dropped. You
Mm-hmm.
said Beat Saber's not on there yet, or has it already got patched?
No, it's not. It's not there yet. They're
But
still working on it. There's still
okay,
no release date on it.
but they did say it is coming to PSVR 2, right?
Yes.
Okay. As a new game, or you get to carry over your stuff.
I hope I get to carry over my stuff because I bought some song packs from the first one.
That's what I was hoping that. Yeah, because I was gonna ask if you did that, because that's what I was hoping that was gonna happen. All right. Well, all I could say is, it sounds exciting and it sounds fun. Are you having a good time with it?
Oh, I am having a wonderful time with it. As long, I just wish I wasn't so sore and tired after it every time.
Good workout, you think? Maybe.
Depending on the game, yeah, definitely.
Uh,
Especially if you and especially if you don't do like
yeah.
sitting down style of play and you
Yeah.
do like either standing or full room scale.
Are there any? Because this seems like it would be good for like any exercising games, like boxing or things like that.
Creed Rise of the Champion, that's going to be
Uh
coming.
huh.
When is Creed coming to PSVR 2? April 4th.
See, that sounds like cool. Like you could box around, move around. Like it sounds like you could get a little bit of workout through it.
Yep, and like I said, Pistol Whip is also a good one. Like I said, it's like Beat Saber except shooting.
Yeah. Those.
So you're still doing the movement. You're still aiming around everywhere.
Yeah.
So
Hey, it's good. The reason I like VR is I've always thought, hey, with one of those bases, one of those things, you can start kind of getting a little bit more movement from when we're playing games, because sitting around for a couple hours, can hurt the back as you get older, but still kind of juking and jiving and moving around, that can keep you in shape.
hmm
That's tight.
and VR is definitely a fun way to do it and keep you distracted from while you're doing it.
That's what I was thinking. All right, Kendall. Well, I think that wraps us up today. But before we say our goodbyes and say our stuff, after all this experience, after your VR, after your stuff, think it's a good purchase?
Oh, it's an amazing purchase. I would highly recommend it if you're sitting on the fence about it
Yeah.
and you kind of want to sit there and try something new.
Yeah.
Definitely, highly
PSVR 2.
recommend PSVR 2.
Sick. All right. Well, Kendall, let them know where they can find you. Let them know where they can see you, and let them know how they know what you're up to.
All right. Well, if you want, you can go ahead and follow me on Instagram at Esper56. Or if you want to go ahead and follow me on Twitch, it is Esper6476. There is also a link to the Twitch page on my Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
So there's that. How about you, Fred? Where can they find you?
You can find me at Freddy Flash on Instagram. I'm probably gonna be posting more stuff soon, as soon as this rain ends, because I'm gonna be working on an Integra. If you guys want to see pictures of a 1988 beat up Integra coming back to life, it still runs. So I don't want to hear nobody being like my car doesn't run. It runs. I just I need some work. Body wise, it needs to look better. But if you want to see that trip coming along and other stuff that I do when I'm going to stuff, I'm going to be posting more on there. We got the Los Muchachos media on Instagram. We're not putting too much stuff, but we're going to start doing more things there, posting when we're doing the podcast and stuff like that. Uh, so yeah, you can check us out there. I gotta probably do more with the Instagram and stuff like that. But you know what? You just look for us as Los Muchachos Media. If you find us on Instagram, we'll have all our links there. We have our links on the bottom of these videos or on some of the podcasting sites wherever you find us. You know, we appreciate you guys listening and following us. But with that, I've been Fred,
And I'm Kendall.
and we'll see you guys later.
Peace.